Afternoon, everyone. It's a great day on the Turnbuckle bandwagon. Today we have a melanin-infused edition. Uh, the Bad Brain, the African American Horror Story, Eel O'Neill, the Submission Sniper, Jordan Blade, the Kings of the District, y'all. Totally in the bag today, not being unbiased. Here's a shirt.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
That's good, man. I'm doing well. How are y'all?
I'm good.
I'm alive, got done work and now I'm just hanging out, having fun.
Yeah. We're wrestling's back, getting back. We got events happening.
Yeah, holy shit.
Is it ever, right?
Yeah, wow.
It went from 0 to 60, 0 to 100. I'm sorry, real quick. We got Uncharted Territories back. We got UWF stuff. We got Flying V's coming back. GCW's just everything is just happening. Jordan, you've had a lot going on, and I love talking to tag teams, but Jordan, you've had, is it UWF or CUWF? I keep getting it wrong.
I know there's like letters for everything, so I feel like everything combined into one, right? So there's Paradigms UWFI Contender Series, obviously, and then there is CFU, so Combat Fights Unlimited. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to be at the last CFU show. So hopefully the next one I'm able to be at. But yes, a lot of letters, but a lot of shoot fight stuff, which is great.
And you had a go against Kai McKenna this past weekend.
Yep, yeah, and I think a lot of people, she has her witch thing going on, and a lot of people don't know that I'm pagan, so I can kind of get in that wheelhouse a little bit too, and a lot of people don't know that Kaya is a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. So as far as stepping on the mat, like, she outranks me, right? So that was really cool to be able to go like toe to toe with her. And like, she pushed me, I think I pushed her. I think it was a great little exhibition, especially for Pro Wrestling Magic, to kind of see what Magic in general can bring to the table.
That's awesome. I think she wants another go too.
I think so. Hey, let's do it. I'm always down. I'm always down to put the beating on somebody.
And Eel, what's shaking with you, man? You got stuff going on. Flying V's coming back. I know that's kind of your I don't want to say home base, but that's where I kind of got to know you.
Yeah. So Flying V, not under the leadership, but under the watchful eye of Joey Ibanez and I, which will factor into the show that you guys will be seeing, is making a resurgence. Storytelling based wrestling with lots of characters, things like that. That's kind of what we're planning on doing. But also, you'll notice it's a deviation from the old form for FV. So Flying V Fights Pro Wrestling was a little bit more, it was more a big top. That's the terminology that Joey and I have used for it. So it originally was kind of more of a big top of, oh, hey, look, there are all these big names in professional wrestling, and look, we're bringing them under one roof, which, like, fantastic. You know what I mean? Like, we got Hollow Wicked once. We got Orange Cassidy. We had DJ Z, now Joaquin Wild. We had like a bunch of stars of the, of indie wrestling and now of like professional wrestling. And now we're bringing it a little bit home. The same way that Paradigm really showcased local Indiana talents and became kind of a home base for them, and then brought people in who would help showcase their talents. We're looking to do with the DMV. So you'll notice a lot of new faces. You'll notice a lot of some great heavy hitters. Like CB versus Hollow Wicked. Hey, that's a banger. And then probably by the time that this is announced, by the time that we have this off, it'll be announced. But Trisha Dore versus Janai Kai for the Pan African World Diaspora Championship. Yeah. So that's the first time we've done that. It's going to be heat. And we get the opportunity to showcase it, not just, hey, look, we got Trish, who is from DC, patron saint of it, but also Janai, who, let's be honest, next to Jordan Blade, is one of the baddest ass kickers in all of indie wrestling, and she comes from DC too. So
it's great. I've always leaned on my bias. Anyone that watches know I lean heavily on my New England bias, but the talent coming out of the DMV right now, you can't deny it. It's good.
I mean, even if you just talk about people from between, between Maryland to Virginia, I mean, you got Alexander James, Logan LaRue, sneaky, but Udah's from Virginia, Jordan from VA, Erica is VA home base. I'm Saul Esparza, you'll see him. Not to toot my own horn, but me. There are a ton of DMV talents who haven't gotten to showcase exactly how incredible our region is for professional wrestling, or at least for creating professional wrestlers. And Flying B is my opportunity, at least, to kind of push us to the forefront.
All right. I mean, in the Kings of the District, I mean, you guys popped up on WR, Uncharted Territories back, and it's the show. Bit of a weird thing happening. I just blame Cam Zagami for stuff. That's all I do.
Yeah. I think so. Jordan's right in that I got heated. I think it's more so that the reason that Trish got distracted was because she was trying to make sure that Cam didn't touch the Pan-African World Diaspora Championship, which totally makes sense because, you shouldn't, it's a sacred title and people shouldn't be digging through her bag and should be digging through her stuff and trying to I think my heat, my anger came from the fact that I think I've demonstrated that I'm really, really willing to sacrifice for pretty much anybody from this area, right? I take pins a lot. I take offense a ton. I get my ass kicked all over the place, which is 100% what I'm 100% willing to do, right? And it stinks that the forerunner of representation for the District of Columbia allowed something to get ruined, a match we had in the bag, over something that we could have handled immediately after. Stay focused, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, it's a sacred title and it's really important, but one of these days, Trish is gonna lose it. And I'm not saying that I wanna be the guy who does it, but I'm saying that I could be the guy who does it. You know what I mean? Gotcha. You have to focus up and you also have to respect the people that you're in the room with. And I don't know, maybe that just might be the chip on my shoulder. So take that.
Jordan, what was your assessment of that match? I mean, the Shook crew are talented. I mean, Aaron Rourke, Bryce, and Bobby. I don't understand this whole thing with Cam anyway. Why Cam is should be even allowed to think about that title in the first place. You creepy hair doll making weirdo. Jordan, what was your assessment of? I mean, just kind of give me the energy there. Uncharted Territory Weekly. It's an event. It's a happening. You get in there with the Shook crew, and then it goes sideways.
Yeah, so there's a lot of feelings going on here, right? So we already beat Shook crew, right? Our or at least my debut for Beyond. EO was fortunate enough to be able to debut for Beyond a couple years prior. So my debut for Beyond, and so we already beat them. So we're coming in again, wrestling another iteration of them essentially, and so we should absolutely, again, like Il said, have this in the bag. And we have the Pan-African World Diaspora Champion on our side too. That's money. That's it. I mean, I can't remember where this video is from, but it's the influence that has, the power that has, the strength that has. I mean, so all of it, right? So it's obviously we're not overlooking our opponents. We never do that. That would be foolish, right? But we have to go into every match with a certain level of confidence, right? Or else, why are you in the ring? Why are you competing? Why are you doing anything? And that's just my mentality. So, and it's tough for me to be, or kind of what you saw there at the end, be in the middle of them with Eel very heated. Everyone knows Eel is my brother. We've been rocking this since 2019, since I came back. And everyone knows the immense respects I have for Trish, the immense respects I have for both of them. So trying to calm Eel down. I mean, both of them were heated, obviously. So I'm trying to calm both of them down. And you can understand both sides, right? You can understand why is this person touching my stuff? If the title was in it or not, why are you touching my stuff? That's, at least from where I'm from, we don't do that. What is that? And obviously, like the title was in her bag. So, like Yil said, that's a sacred title. That's a world championship, and you have no business not only not touching my bag, you don't have any business touching my title. So why are you out here? Obviously,
Right.
it worked to their advantage. That was their game plan, and they were unfortunately able to pick up the win on us.
Yeah.
So it like Yil said, like that is frustrating, but you can also see both sides, and I hate trying to play both sides of the fence, but like I said, I respect both of them equally. So I'm kind of willing to write this one off as a learning experience at most.
Hey, slip ups happen, and I think on the list of people who should not don't touch anybody's stuff, but the fact that Cam was even within distance of that title, just uh, again, creepy hair doll making ass person. So we're just gonna move on. Did y'all get a chance to watch the tag team gauntlet match with the main event and 9 to 5?
Yeah. The, two incredible tag teams. I've been we've already faced the main event once. We were lucky enough to sneak away with the win. But I'm so high on those guys. I have to be honest. I think that Lion and Midas are just not just two of the most genuine and like warm presences inside of the locker room, but also hardworking and talented, trained by Amazing Red. I mean, they've already been on Dark, and they're just shining stars, man, shining stars.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're both like super entertaining. Their whole presence is very entertaining.
Yeah.
And I know Eel and I would love to step in the ring with them again. I got the opportunity, I don't know if Eel did, to talk to 9 to 5 a little bit before the show. And we kind of had like the same mentality as far as like wrestling goes, just in general. So it's always nice to just kind of talk wrestling with people. Just like no stress, like we're not having to run around and get stuff ready, and we're stressed and anxious and all that. We're just kind of chilling and talking wrestling. So I definitely have immense respect for both of those guys, 9 to 5, and I hope we see more of them too.
Yeah. I didn't get it. It was like they came out and the alarm clock is annoying, but they're out here in the mugs and the shirts and ties. And after a little bit, I was like, you know what? I get it. And I respect it. Those guys have been around for a long time. One of them had wrestled for Beyond, like I think 2009, 2010. So they go back.
Yep.
I think it's just the concept is just like, hey, they're going to work, man. like they're coming out to go to work, and you know what? I appreciate that. I like when people, it's all fun and games, but I know that when Jordan and I are out there too, we're like, all right, we're hyped up now. Let's put in the work. Let's do what we get paid to do.
Yeah, it's that after the head banging is over, it's time to bang some other heads. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
How did y'all feel being up at Uncharted territory? I mean, it's an event. I remember when they announced it was going to be a weekly show. I didn't know that an independent promotion could put on a weekly show and it be quality episode to episode to episode. And here we are 3 years later, starting season 3. What was y'all's general feeling walking into that? Like, I know you've been in the building before, but this is a little different.
Yeah, excitement. I mean, you could definitely feel it in the air, and I think that excitement has every time I've been there to Beyond, and I'm probably speaking for myself and Eel, like it's always exciting being there and being in White Eagle. And I remember a couple of days ago, like when I got back, I guess yesterday when I got back, I was just like, Beyond was one of the places that even I think maybe 2 years ago, because everyone has their notes app of goals and wrestlers and promotions or whatever that they want to compete at or wrestle or whatever, and Beyond was on there, and Beyond was at the top of that list. And it's crazy to me, like sometimes I have my ups and downs, my peaks and valleys. I'm like, God, I'm a crappy wrestler one day, and then the next day I'm like, okay, awesome, like I was really proud of that match. And it's crazy to me, like I knew I would be here, but I didn't know. Like, does that make sense? Like, I didn't know when it happened, and it's crazy that it's happened in such, I guess for me, like a short amount of time.
Yeah, well, I know you've been up there before, but what were kind of your feelings on it this past week?
Yeah, So it's I've had an up and down road because like head of the class stuff, hey, that was rocking, and then kind of a little bit of stagnation, then finally finding Jordan, and then COVID, and to really get the call and to have the opportunity to showcase your talents and our vibe and everything, and have it be so received well. It's just so appreciated, especially in front of that audience that is so passionate about professional wrestling. And like, legitimately, I know that this, like, everybody who is hot right now, who's big time wrestlers, has gone through Beyond, and it can be an eye for talent, it can be coincidence, whatever it is, but it's just so pleasant to see that people who are really focused on the wrestling aspect of wrestling, and putting out good wrestling, like Uncharted Territory is just good wrestling, you know what I mean? Like, over and over again, every single episode, and like the past 3 seasons, and even this one, I was like, oh yeah, we're on it, and like blah 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 blah, and then like banger after banger after banger after heat after banger, like, geez, man. So like Jordan said, or in your heart of hearts, you hope that like the talent and the athleticism and the hard work that you're putting in mean that you're going to get to the next level. And then it happens and you're like, oh yeah, I mean, it happened. Okay, so we're here. Like, and Drew, and the rest of staff, we go into the back, and even after the loss, so like, hey, like, Kings, we like what you do. We like what both of you do. We like it's validation. It's validation from your peer, which sometimes is more affirming than from fans, because your peers are the people you're going to have to end up wrestling anyway.
Yeah, I can certainly see that. You want, again, your peers and the folks you work with, and you put in the time, and to get that, again, you get that validation. That's really nice. One more thing before we move on from Uncharted Territory. The one thing I like, again, you said banger after banger, the show, 2 hours flies by. Like, I look at my clock and it's like 9:50. I'm like, what the hell's going on? This whole thing with Alec Price and Becca is like this, okay, but now I'm super invested in this because of both their paths. Just again, because y'all are kind of separated from it, what are y'all's assessment of that particular situation? I just call it that because I don't know what to call it.
Not that particular situation. What's the situation? Like, in quotes. So I look at it from a competition standpoint. I think that, I mean, I've been an athlete since I was 6, right? So I just am like, okay, yeah, I want to wrestle these people. I think Ela and I should wrestle Alec Price and Becca.
separately and
separately. Yeah, just singles match. You do Eel versus Alec, you do Jordan versus Becca. Maybe you flip flop those two, and then you close it off and you do a big tag match.
Let's do it. Let's run.
Yep. No holds barred. Just anything goes.
Well, my back. Back.
We like rules. The Kings.
Oh, okay. Okay, fair. I don't want to speak for y'all. I was just.
We really like rules. That's one of the tenets of tag team wrestling. You gotta love rules.
Yes.
All right. See, I let my fan get ahead of me. I was like, no, rules, proper rules. Maybe even like a submission only match.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how we feel about that. So I mean, that's easy. That's our wheelhouse. You're playing to us. So they better bring their A game if that's a submission. If it's a submission match in any type of way, let's go.
Yeah.
In general, just general upkeep now that kind of wrestling is back. Like, how are y'all? I've asked this question to kind of everybody. Staying in the right mindset, getting the workouts in, keeping the life together, having the right headspace. You come out of COVID, now everything spins back up. Like, are y'all adjusting okay? Is it sometimes seem a little bit of overload?
Well, you see Eel's body, right?
Yeah. I saw I saw the new tights on Thursday, and I'm like, whoa, Eel's got the thighs out and shit. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've upped my caloric intake. I've changed my I used to wrestle and do cardio probably about 4 times a week. Now wrestling's 2 times. Cardio is like particular days, and then I'm pretty much in the gym 5 days a week. So along with all that stuff, just like I wasn't getting what I wanted out of wrestling as being a cruiserweight. And now that I'm like damn near 200 pounds legitimate, I think people are starting to realize that they can't push me and throw me around a little bit as much as they used to. And it's changed the way I wrestle a little bit. Like some of the high flying stuff had to go. I mean, you still see the top rope dive, but like some of the like lucha and high flying stuff is probably out the window. But like picking people up and tossing them around or really grounding them, that's kind of what's happening for me at least. And then Jay, Jay's doing BJJ like every single day.
Got to, man. I just tried. You'll see it probably later today. I just tried the freaking the calf slicer into the banana split that I put. Yeah, big props to my wife who is the test dummy in there for me. So, but she's competing in a couple weeks too. So mainly I went there for her to like drill and get her game sharp, so she can go out there and kick some ass too. But yeah, so I mean, it's really just been a lot of jujitsu. I have almost done the opposite of Eel. So like I still lift, like that's just in my blood. I don't think I know how to stop doing that. But like I've had to up the cardio, obviously. So and a lot of it's a fine balance, right? So there's weight classes in jujitsu, and I'm always in the highest weight class. And so for some specific competitions, it might be like 150 and up. Some it's maybe like 165 and up. And I'm usually the top weight class, but on the lower end. And you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. You want to be in a weight class, but be on the top end, so then you can just smash people who are smaller than you. But I think the thing that sets me apart, at least in that aspect, is like, well, I guess in both jiu-jitsu and wrestling, is that I'm big, but I'm still like at least moderately agile and fast. So like I'm a 170, 175er, but I can move around like I'm like 150, 155. So
I mean, because your past couple matches together, I mean, like you guys are not that you weren't before, but like the style, like y'all go in there and just are like punching people square in the mouth and throwing them around the ring. It's not.
Yes, that's it.
It's just hard hitting in your face style, and I dig it. I love tag team wrestling anyway, but something like this, I am definitely in for. Jordan, I have to ask, is for a friend of mine who is getting into powerlifting, what's the squat and the deadlift looking like for you these days?
Man, to be honest, since I've been up in the cardio, they've been a little stagnant. I mean, I can still squat maybe like a little bit above 200. So like my 1 rep max for squat is 235, which is pretty average, not that impressive. And then my deadlift is 315. My deadlift has always been better than my squat. I don't know. Some people's squats are better than their deadlifts. I don't know. Different biomechanics and all that. And then my bench is like, we won't talk about that.
If you help me get my squat up, because my deadlift is pretty high, is doing okay right now. But if you help me get my squat up, you and me, we can work bench, because I'm repping 225 now. Maxing out at 315, something like that. So like.
See, now I'm jealous, but you a long boy. You got long legs. So that's working against you. The person you really need to be talking to. Where's Max? Where's Maxine Palin? Let's get them there, because that's a whole different ball game. We get them on there.
Yeah,
Max. That was actually I remember a tweet where we're talking about, it's like, where is the Jordan Blade versus They Max deadlift off, where y'all just deadlift and maybe wrestle, but just like deadlift against each other.
I'm here for it. That was like, I'm trying to think, like in my like nerd brain of like different like muscle fiber types, because that would require like some amount of cardio and strength, but like strength endurance. So maybe I could eke out a win against Max at that point. But Max, the only time we've ever wrestled, they beat me. So I mean,
Their deadlift's pretty high too. I see some of the videos that they post, and it's like
405, I think, was like their
for,
last video they posted, I think.
for reps.
Maybe higher than that.
Come on. Yeah.
That's a lot. I've seen the IG. Io, you mentioned caloric intake. So what are you, and because I love food, obviously,
Yeah.
what are you intaking, and then what is like the cheat day cheat meal look like?
So I'm not really taking with sweets. So it's meat, rice. So meat, starches, carbs, and vegetables. You know what I mean? Like pretty much and then supplement with like a lot of protein shakes, all that stuff. And then on cheat days, it's really just like meat and cheese. So like burgers and stuff, or like pastas. Those I mean, like pasta, obviously everybody loves them. Like everybody loves pasta, you know what I mean? Chinese food is like great on like, you know what I mean? Like really greasy Chinese food is like killer.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, there are a lot of people who like candy, different things like that. No, I don't have it in me. It's just not something that like I I can be like, oh, this is like a good candy bar, this is like a good sweet or something, but a lot of times I'm just like, it's sweet. But like a solid like 2-patty, 3-patty cheeseburger, like bacon cheeseburger. Come on.
Jordan, what about you?
Man, I hang out around maybe like 1900 to 2000 calories, which is
Dude.
normal. Like
Yeah.
that's normal. That's like nothing. I think you were like, when you were bulking, what were you close to, 3000?
Yeah, it's got 3,000. Trying to get to 3,500. I'm still trying to hit those goals, but I don't hit my macros every single day. Like I'll get like 2,800 one day, 32 the next, 27, 33, stuff like that. So, and like builders, like people who are bodybuilders will tell you that like it's got to be consistent. But like I've seen this much results since COVID with, with just like, hey, like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So
Yeah, and I mean, you got to be like, I'm not saying be slack or lax or whatever, but you also have to be like realistic and everything. And we're not really out here trying to be bodybuilders, but it's a thing where we have to be powerful, yet we have to have our cardio on point, yet we know this is an aesthetic business, brother. So this is not for body business, brother.
it is.
But yeah, so it's there's a lot that goes into it. But I mean, like for me, my vices are probably like everything, but like probably like sweets, like desserts, probably for me. This isn't bad, but it's bad for my wallet. I love a good crab broil, so where are my king crab legs? Where are my hush puppies? Like where, like, I mean, so if I could just, now I want some, and there's one right down the street, and I need to not do that.
I've got a great taco place like right across town where I'm at in Connecticut, and it's family run. And the pork belly and pastor tacos, I'm over there way more than I should be. Coming up, what do y'all have coming up? Because there's a lot of wrestling happening. Uncharted Territories up and cracking, GCW. I saw Shane Mercer throw a yo-yo into the sun last night. Is he okay?
Yeah, coach is fine. Let me tell you something about, because he's absolutely incredible. But Jordan and I both, every single time we see him, literally just, he'll walk in and we just start shaking our heads, because he just absolutely, he's a maniac, and he's great. He is such a problem. One of the things that I'm happy about is that they didn't like, the universe didn't make Yo-Yo big, because if Yo-Yo was Yo-Yo and he was big, he'd be a nightmare. You know what? Not just to deal with, but to wrestle. You'd be like, oh man, this guy, he's tough. He's a great martial artist. He's a great grappler. He's charismatic. If he was 6'3", you know what I mean? He would have been signed already.
Yeah, he is a
Hey,
problem. Right now he's a menace, but he will be a problem then.
Yeah.
hey, them getting into uncharted territory. Somebody got hurt. They pop in. The Beyond crowd seemed to like him a lot. I love them both, but it was nice to see them get an opportunity this past week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always so hyped for them, and typically, like, I can't. This is just me. Like, I can't watch any matches before my match or our matches because I'm so nervous and anxious and
Yeah, stay.
all the emotions going through me. But their match was the one match that I watched because obviously they were before us on Uncharted that I made sure that I was going to watch because at the end of the day, Janai and Yo-Yo are my friends. So I want to support them. And anytime they do something, I'm like, I told Janai all the time. I told her on Thursday. I said, "We're wrestling next Friday, but I shouldn't be wrestling you anymore. Not because I don't want to. She's my favorite opponent, but because she should be on my motherfucking television screen every week."
We said this in the car. Yeah, we said this. We were talking about this in the car about how like it just does not make sense that some of the folks who are still on the indies and who aren't signed yet. It's like, guys, right there is like Janai could print t-shirts. She could print t-shirts immediately. She gets onto your TV, she karate kick somebody in the head, and immediately every single little boy and girl would fall in love with her. Janai is such a badass.
She's an action she's an action figure. You just put her on in her gear. You put her, I mean, drop her in any women's division on any TV show. Shit, drop her in that knockout division right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And I just saw that Masha got signed because I watched.
I saw that this morning.
Last night. But yeah, so Masha just got signed, so I'm super happy for her. Like she's one person, like our paths cross all the time, but like, well, I definitely gravitate towards people or wrestlers rather who have the same mindset and mentality and obviously wrestling style as I do. So that's one of the reasons why Masha and I do get along so well, and Janai and Yulia and I get along so well, is because we just kind of have that mentality. Like I have a wedding next Saturday, and like I'm fully expecting to go to the wedding with some bruises on my face and like not be upset about it. Like after the battle that Janai and I are gonna have on Friday.
Oh geez. Yeah, so what's coming up for either both y'all as the Kings of District or for separately? What's the calendar look like for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks?
So the only date that we have definite for the Kings, we got something coming up for 10/17, I think that we might be at. It's a taping though, and then 11/7 for Beyond. We're definitely on that. Jay, what do you have going up? My next thing is after the 10/17 thing is just Deppin at SWO.
So I like. Pause. So I like how he's just like, only thing I got after that is Deppin. Like, okay, so this man. Okay.
I asked for
30th. It's Elo Neal versus Tony Deppin. I don't. Is there a way to stream it? Are we?
SWO put all their stuff on YouTube. It's easily accessible there. It is what it is. I've always wanted to be like Tony is working. You guys know, I've always wanted to be at Ring of Honor. That's the company that I have chosen. 1, because it's Baltimore, my home. 2, because I think my style of wrestling and my style of character work and stuff like that is stuff that will be, especially their iteration of them now, will be successful. Tony Deppin is all over there. He's not signed there yet, I think, but I'm sure certainly he will be if he decides to sign a contract. Isn't he
a TV champion?
He was past tense. Dragon Lee is now.
Oh, okay.
Dragon Lee beat him, and then I think he had a rematch, and Dragon Lee beat him again.
Nice.
But I just I just need showcases, and I want to showcase myself against like every single person who works for that company, because if I can beat them on the indies, or at least have a good showing on the indies, when I start sending them my stuff, they got to at least give me they say, hey, you can work with our guys. That's my primary goal. I've been pretty vocal about it. Ring of Honor is a place I want to be, and like
as he should.
Yeah, but I'll get there after Jordan gets signed. That's when we'll Jordan will be world famous, making millions of dollars as she should, and then I'll sneak my way onto Ring of Honor.
Not under Ring of Honor.
Yes.
So we just talked about it. So I have Paradigm this upcoming Friday. Was it the 15th? So Janai and I are the main event. So like the main event. So they have the two shows. So they have at 7, they have They Know, which is gonna be headlined by Suge D and Myron Reed, which is gonna be a banger. And then they have the UWFI show at 9:30 as the rush comes. That's going to be headlined by myself and Janai Kai for the UWFI super middleweight title. So I'm really excited about that. That's a ton of pressure, probably the most pressure that I've had probably this year. If I'm forgetting something, forgive me. But so I'm excited about that. So that'll be streaming live on IWTV this Friday. Ela and I do have a taping on the 17th, which you'll see at another point.
Yeah.
And then I will be going down to Texas on the 23rd. I'll be participating in the La Rosa Negra seminar. Before Mission Pro. And so 2 talents from that tryout will get to be on the show later that night.
Let's go, Jordan. Let's go. Mission Pro. What's up?
So I mean, we're just seeing, and then that's it for October. And then November's coming around, and then my first show in November is Flying V. So.
Yeah, the 6th. That's right. I totally forgot about that. I said the 7th. Yes, Flying V. Please watch Flying V on IWTV. Flying fights back. Please.
70% sold out, right?
We're over that now.
Okay.
So we released tickets to the public to start being sold on 3 days ago. And we're probably about 80%, 90% sold. I don't know if we're trying to be the COVID safe. Like we have COVID quadrants for people to sit, socially distanced seating, mask mandate inside of the building, all that stuff. So adding tickets is like a whole rigmarole of like us trying to figure out if the safety aspect of it is compromised, but like that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to sell out at least.
So and folks, if you can't make it, drop your $10 for IWTV. It's worth it.
Yeah, they just did a streaming record. Like a bunch of people bought subscriptions. Let's go.
Yeah, so we're super happy about that. And then so Il said Beyond on the 7th, and then I have a Pro Wrestling Magic women's title defense against Masha Slamovich on Sunday the 14th. The newly signed to Impact Masha Slamovich. Yeah.
Impact Knockout Masha Slamovich.
Impact Knockout Masha Slamovich. Crazy.
See what you do, Jordan, is you get in there with Masha and you just toss her left and right so hard that Impact and Gail Kim have to come down. Gail Kim's got to get in the car. She got to tell her celebrity chef husband, Robert, I got to get in this car and I got to go to this match. I have to sign Jordan Blade, get her in the Knockouts division. Because
we'll see about that. I mean, that's definitely my goal is to be signed somewhere. So whether that happens before the end of the year or next year, I mean, we'll see.
We got you.
So I random question. This is from the Beach Show that Beyond did, and the Beach shows are fun. Wrestling outside, and I've talked to a couple different wrestlers about this. Is it a little more draining, regardless of how just being outside? Is it a little more draining energy wise, or is it about the same?
So I think for me, like that was probably the easiest outdoor show I've done, and granted, that was probably my first tag team match that I've done outdoors. I think I've done maybe two, maybe I can count on one hand in my career how many times I've done an outdoor show, and all of those matches have been singles matches. So those were obviously really tough because they were singles matches. I think the first one I ever did, it was on like a a black vinyl canvas, and
Oh,
obviously the sun
jeez.
coming down and it's absorbing the heat. So
Yeah.
that was terrible. So this was probably the easiest one, just because we're in, like, it's super up north. We're in September, and it was a tag match, so it was like all the factors were working for me anyway.
Yeah, yeah. The being next to the beach, it being Rhode Island, and it being a sunny day was like perfect temperature.
Nice.
The energy of the people. I don't know if you know this, Matt, but like when people can drink at shows, they're really they're great audiences. They give you a lot of energy, and when those crowds get popping like that, it helps with fire. You know what I mean?
I like having a good time. I mean, I try to make one uncharted territory a month, and them having a bar right there,
Yeah.
being in downtown Worcester, parking there still, it's still downtown Worcester, but there being a bar right there helps out.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a super fun show. Like, I just had a really good time. I was really excited that Ela and I were second.
Yeah. We gotta have beers afterwards, and the fish bowls that everybody got themselves into for. But they were it was like fun day. We gotta.
Oh no, I was kind of hanging out, talking to people, and Jordan. I saw Jordan have some fun after y'all were done at the show. Jordan.
About Jordan Blade. Let me tell you something about Jordan Blade.
Oh,
Played a couple of beers, and she turns into a damn menace. She's the life of the party. All that serious Jordan Blade stuff that you see in the ring, and when you get Jordan a drink or two, turns into
don't get me around women if I have some drinks in me.
turns into party boy Jordan Blade.
Party boy. Jordan's like, her match is done, comes out, tank top, shorts, slides, fishbowl, like shouting, "Let's go!" and just
Hey, Mom,
I mean, that was pretty much it. I was super stoked when we were second. I was like, let's go.
Yes, yeah, let's rock.
No, that's a perfect spot. Not one, but two. And then we can just enjoy the rest of the show. And it was like super cool. Like, I mean, the fans were just hanging out. Obviously the wrestlers were just hanging out, and it was just fun. It was very much like, you're definitely still nervous before you go out for a match, obviously, but it overall, like, the atmosphere brought at least my anxiety down a little bit, because we're out here having fun. So, and we're always having fun when we're wrestling, but we're out here having fun with the atmosphere and everything. So,
okay. Well, two more questions and I'll get y'all out of here. Firstly, what was y'all opinion of your girl Erica Lee out here last night dressed like a cop?
so I like how you like, I'm a menace. I am a menace. So I wasn't able to because I had IWTV, because Rise was Saturday. I was incapacitated all day, not from drinking. Not from drinking, just trying to recover from the weekend.
Yeah.
I saw pictures though, and first of all, she looked cute. Though she looked good. The fit was good. I liked the fit. The fit was good. So I can't. Was it streamed live, or is it gonna be streamed later? Like,
I don't believe it. I don't believe it was streamed. I saw the pictures from somebody.
It'll be in post. Erica Lee is a problematic individual in that she loves. There's nothing that Erica Lee loves more than to instigate, especially when it comes to either crowds or opponents. And depending on where she is, like she's already we have all seen Erica in a wrestling context. She's already irritating. And then at like Officer Erica Lee or like Army Man, and like
though I mean, yeah, all of them, like all of the iterations, right, of Erica Lee in a very short period of time. The influence that has, the power that has.
It's true.
No, she's great. I mean, everybody knows. Erica and I are good friends. I mean, she's one of the best friends in wrestling. So we wrestled each other enough, so we better be something, right? Like,
yeah, seriously.
but yeah, no, she's great. I am very much entertained every time she steps into a ring or in front of a camera or whatever. So
Yeah, the outfit. I mean, it was good looking. Whoever put that together for her looked good. I mean,
it was probably
Bought it.
her. or maybe at the very least, maybe we could credit it to Billy Dixon, maybe. But I have a feeling that was like 100% her.
Yeah.
yeah. And one of the matches announced for Uncharted next week, I am very big on. Delmi Exo versus Megan Bain.
So everyone knows how we feel about the Sea Stars, right?
Yeah.
We still have not gotten that tag match. I'm deviating a little
They're
bit.
No, it's
But
fine.
I think two of the tag teams that, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, that we want to face is Violence is Forever.
Yeah.
I know that Dom is, I think he's still trying to rehab an injury or something. So get well soon, man. Violence is Forever and the Sea Stars. So we're just over here waiting in the wings, trying to face the Sea Stars. And I mean, obviously, tag, singles, whatever iteration you want to do,
You versus Doc versus who? Let me get, and then you versus Vox, me versus Del.
He wants Delmy first. All right.
I deserve, I deserve to beat up Delmy X. and here's why. Because I think that we are both we're the lankier person in our tag team. And I think that people think of like single stars, they think of you and Ashley. That's not to say anything about Delmy, but that is just to say, like, I think that's kind of what it is. But I think that sorry, you and Ashley rather. But I think that me and Delmy would have such a banger, just trying to prove that we're tough singles guys too. All right.
I feel like if it would be, if it's Menace versus Menace,
yes,
it's Eel versus Ashley.
That's true. That is
Menace versus Menace.
I've seen, and look, I'm just a fan, but I've seen Ashley at shows post match.
Oh, she's
Menace.
Irritating. Get her away from me.
That's funny.
I don't want to be anywhere near her.
Who is? Let me do a little bit of investigating. Jordan, who's the bigger menace? Ashley Vox or Little Mean Kathleen?
The bigger menace? Oh my God. I don't even. LMK.
Yo, LMK is an absolute lunatic. She is so God. I don't know what's happening.
I
gotta wrestle her too.
Love LMK.
Both the Kings want to wrestle LMK.
Hey, do Kings of the District Open. If you just call it the Kings of the District Open Challenge, she'll show up. That's her thing now. Open challenges.
Yes. I'm gonna pitch it.
Pitch it. Oh yeah, pitch it.
It'll be one of us. Not both of us, because that's not fair. Because she'll beat both of us up then, and we can't have that.
Yeah. We're gonna embarrass both of us losing. Getting bit by LMK.
We will get thrown around by LMK. I don't know what. I don't know what she has inside of her. It's not human. It's not human. I don't know what's going on there, but LMK is not human.
Yeah. She is there's this comedian, Eliza, that does this bit about a party goblin. LMK is like a wrestling goblin.
Yes. Absolutely correct.
And I mean that in the best way possible. LMK, don't come and beat me up. I think you're great, but let's call it what it is. You're a wrestling goblin, and that's your thing.
Build from Flavortown. I God.
Irritating too. Okay.
Menaces. And one more last question, because I want to ask this to tag teams. I want to start interviewing more tag teams. When y'all travel and y'all are heading to where you're getting, who's the adult in the tag team? Like, who's the one making sure you got gas? Who's the one making sure you got snacks? Who's the one making sure you're on time?
I feel we're both really responsible with that. Okay. I drive a lot. I have a weird thing about people driving. The only person who is, and DK favored this, I'm sorry, y'all. The only person who's been able to get me to like relax and let them drive is Erica Lee. That's the only person who, when I'm traveling, has been able to be like, like, Eel, just stop fucking. And it's probably because, like you said, she's a fucking menace. So no, we're really responsible. Like, we split gas, we food, we split, like, we're all like, we don't take a particularly long time to get anywhere. I don't think we're not really known for being late, are we, Jay?
No, not really.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is me, like, I'm really terrible with communication. So like this past time for Uncharted, Eel is like, because I just like assume people know my schedule. Like I don't tell anybody. So Eel messages me. He's like, "Am I picking you up from Riley's?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, this I am going to." So anytime I go to like the Jersey, like the tri-state area, or we have Beyond or something, the night before typically, I'll stay at Riley Shepard's house. And she's like, "I'm gonna make you a key. Like you just come in," and her cats love me, and like I just crash on the couch and we hang out. Like it's always very cute. Like we'll have like breakfast together, or we'll go out for breakfast, or we went to the gym together, I think Friday morning, and then went out for breakfast, and then Eel will scoop me, and then we'll head up to Beyond. So Riley's my, I don't even know what to call it, but my home away from home almost. So
Right.
so
Shout
but
out to Riley Shepard. Shout out to Riley
yes,
Shepard.
Yeah,
for
she's a
taking
star. She's a star. Riley
Yes.
Shepard. Riley Shepard is a superstar.
not only for taking care of Jordan Blade, but because
Yeah, not just
she's,
for taking tag team partner, but also because she's also an incredible wrestler and an incredible personality.
yes, she's one of the most genuine people in wrestling, which is hard to come by. So she's solid. Like anything you ask her to do, she can do. So I would like to wrestle her, please. I think Eel would too. Eel would like to wrestle her too. But yeah, she's a superstar.
So shout out to Riley Shepard. Y'all, thank you so much. Where can people find you on the socials? Eel or whoever wants to go first. And I'll make sure your stuff is up when this goes up.
Okay.
You go.
You sure? Okay. So I mean, you can follow me. Lord Jesus, I'm so out of it. I went to the gym this morning. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jordan_Blade92. Also, be sure to check out mine and Eel's What a Maneuver stores to copy you some T-shirts. I'll have some in person at Paradigm as well, and we'll have our tag shirts also in person. We gotta probably figure out how to get those up on our stores too.
Yeah,
Eel.
probably. I figure we'll probably make one, like a specific website for it, because we might as well. And me at Eel O'Neill AAHS. That might change to at like Bad Brain Eel, something like that soon. But Eel O'Neill AAHS, African American Horror Story. And same, look at both of our What a Maneuvers and please buy a t-shirt. We as much as we love traveling and getting paid our rate, which people have been very, very good about, we also very much live and die off of the sales of merchandise, all of your favorite. So please check out What a Maneuver, check out Pro Wrestling Tees, check out Brainbuster Tees, check out all of the places where your wrestlers have stuff up, and buy something, stickers, whatever.
And they're both good follows. You know, Jordan puts her workout stuff up on Instagram. So whenever y'all and Max do the thing, just put it on Instagram and everybody's gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to them about doing something like that. I'll hit them up today.
Right. Well, again, folks, thank y'all. We'll make sure we have all the pertinent information when this goes up. We'll have their social media handles. We'll even throw a link up to their What a Maneuver, and buy some merch. Watch IWTV, watch the Kings of the District, follow them both, support them where you can. Look, we just want them everywhere. I want black wrestlers everywhere to get their shine on.
Yeah.
You know, I want Jordan Blade to beat everybody up. I want Eel to wrestle everybody. You know, it's gonna be a good time. And y'all have a good one. Oh.